folks. This is part 2 of my retro recap for this week. Last one went a little long. My part 1 did. Unexpectedly went a little long. But that's a good thing because that means I loved that book. Alright, so for the next comics for this retro recap, we have Ms. Marvel, and this is number 23. It was the last one in her volume 1 run. So it went almost 2 years, roughly. On the cover of this, okay, comic book covers today are kind of not accurate. You'll see something on a cover and it has nothing to do with what's inside. This one's pretty accurate. This roughly happens. I mean, not exactly this way, but hey, it's close. So we have a guest star, Vance Astro of the Guardians of the Galaxy. There's action in outer space. And yeah, she's in her new costume. This is not Miss Marvel's first costume. This is her second one. So starting this book off was almost a little cringy because she's so hung up on this dude that she just got off of a date with. And I don't know, it's just kind of, she's all, oh, fawning over this guy. And I'm like, oh, please, Carol, come on, stop. So it's a little cringy, but once you get past that part, now Chris Claremont's a great writer, okay? So there's nothing wrong with how he wrote it. It's the content. I'm just like, I didn't even fawn over my husband like that. And that says something. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, she's just kind of like flopping around. I'm like, oh, please. But anyway. So, Salia, I think her name is Salia, she shows up on Carol's doorstep. She's supposed to be dead. She's not dead. So, Carol goes through this whole thing trying to figure out what happened to her. And then Salia, like, zaps her with some eye beams. And it's like, whoa, she's got eye beams. Cool. So Carol thought she was dead, but Salia, she says, I didn't die, but I went to hell. And I'm like, oh, whoa, okay, that's kind of crazy for a comic just starting off like this. But we find out that it's the faceless one who took Salia and made her into this crazy, like, servant person. I want to mention something too. I love the reference notes. That's one of my favorite things about older comics is if there is something like, I am called the faceless one, and there's a little asterisk, there's a box that says last seen way back in Astonishing Tales number 2. And that's from the editor. The editor puts that little note in there. I miss those. I miss those so much. But anyway, Carol bamboozles the faceless one into thinking that he's like breaking her will. But she gets out. She changes into her costume. And Vance Astro has no clue it's actually her. He's like, no, I know Miss Marvel. And that's not how she looks. So I was like, okay. Sure thing. It's a little silly, but it's an older book, so there's lots of silly stuff in here. One of the silly things that freaked me out when I saw it, she knocks the head off the faceless one, and it skitters away like a spider. And I'm like, oh, no, not doing it. And it like attacks her. I'd just be dead. Nope. Not happening. Giant spider ball thing? No. But, it tries to get back to its body, too. It can, like, remote control its body. But, oh, man, it was crazy. And when I first saw that, I was like, no, it's not happening. I'm not doing that. But the story's really good. The action's good. It's fun. It's different. I thoroughly enjoy it. Made me sad, though, to see next issue, Sabretooth, when there was no next issue. So, that kind of made me sad. But, in the end, she revealed herself to her friend to try to calm her down. And, you know, her hold, the hold that the faceless one had over was broken because Vance Astro fires, what's it called? Let's see. He disrupted the delicate balance of the portal that this thing was trying to escape through with a psychokinetic kick in the head, is what he called it. And I was like, that's great. But when he did that, you know, it messed up that psychic connection that thing had with her. So that's why Carol was like, look, I'm your friend. It's okay. You're safe, you know. But good book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And by the way, I actually got this book from Jeff up here at the shop. So he doesn't have another copy, but you can find lots of other books just like that here at the store. Okay, this is a book I've had for a long time and have not read yet. It's from DC. It's called Star Hunters, #1. Okay, I love pulp sci-fi stuff. I think I said that about John Carter too, so which is kind of pulpy sci-fi steampunk. This is definitely pulp sci-fi with the laser guns and stuff with the way they are. There's also space pirates. And this is another one where the cover, it's close. It's close. This was printed in the 70s, 1977. Now, comics have always been somewhat progressive. Yes, we have a blonde-headed white dude as the captain, but his commander is a chick. So, yes, I like that. There's another comic book reference in here to comics of the publisher. There's the Batman and a Beatles comic. You know, I'm pretty sure the Beatles one too was published by DC. I think it's fun how they would put their own comics in other comics. That's great. I love it. So, the whole premise of this book is Earth has created a trash planet. It's starting to feel a little like Futurama, and Futurama may have gotten it from this, but Earth created a trash planet because we're running out of room. And there was a relic that was discovered on this planet, but it was only half a relic. So the corporation that rules Earth has sent Donovan Flint and his team of star hunters to this planet of junk to find the other half. So people obviously showed up and settled on that planet, you know, digging through junk and reselling it back to Earth. I love it. It's hilarious. So anyway, they get to the planet. They kill some slugs. This dude's mad because he's like, those were my watchdogs. It's like, okay. This guy looks like a Nazi, I swear, or something. He does not look friendly. I mean, he carries around a horse whip. That's great. They work out a deal with Donovan Flint and his crew and tell them where they can find the other half. Well, they go there, and there's like this goop on the ground, and they start checking out this goop, and next thing you know, this giant clay-looking monster attacks them. But it psychically, like, talks, kinda. It gives impressions to one of Flint's crew, the one that he tackled, and he's like, okay, now this is where this book went from, haha, this is great, to, oh my god, I'm so depressed, but not really in a bad way. It's an enlightening way. So they all decide to get impressions from this creature. And it goes through its origin story, how it, you know, decided it was lonely. The junkmen, like, rejected it and tried to kill it. So it decided to make something in its own image. So the goop on the ground was its mate. Well, the junk men show up and they're like, ha ha, we just want you to distract this thing so we could take all the treasure from here because its lair was full of junk. Imagine that on a junk planet. Well, Flint and them tried to stop the junk men, but they're like, nah, we're just going to kill this thing. And they kill the thing. And I'm like, no. And the last thing it does, it reaches out to its mate. And I'm like, my heart, oh my God. And Flint obviously is not happy about this, because that wasn't cool for them to just kill this sentient being that emerged from junk. And so when the pirates are like, here, or pirates, the junkmen are like, here, we'll just let you have this. It's like, they're terrible people. Very terrible people. And so Flint, like, smacks one of them with the relic, and it's like, good. Because they're like, thank you for your help. And he goes, you're welcome. But yeah, I was like, that's so sad. So it went from funny haha to a serious book. Was not expecting that. Shocked me. But hey, good book. I need to try to hunt down the rest of these. I would like to read them. But I don't know why I was putting that back in the bag. But yeah, that was a good book. I don't remember where I got that from. It was probably a convention or maybe Comics Universe in Jackson. But that was a good book. It was a good read. Surprised me. Wasn't expecting it. I meant to tell you who the writer was. Hang on. Let's see. It is David Michelini. I think I butchered that, but that's who wrote it. So, good stuff. Alright, last book for this retro recap this week. Jeff pulled this one out specifically because he knows I'm not big on Superman, Action Comics, Batman, Detective Comics. You know, I'm not big on those. He pulled out one of the earlier Bendis runs mini-series, The Man of Steel. I went into this book the same way I did Uncanny X-Men 129. I was like, okay, not big on Superman. Love Supergirl, love Wonder Woman. Not big on Superman. He's too Boy Scout for me. But this book surprised me. So there's a bad guy wanting to destroy Krypton. Wipe out all the Kryptonians. And, you know, Superman's on Earth doing his thing. And, this one part, I love this part. He's like helping firefighters put out a fire in a like an apartment complex, and this little girl says bad words, which are, you know, blurred out, and then he was like, language please. I love it. He's such a Boy Scout, but at the same time, I like that about him. But there's something else to this book. Okay, so I was digging this book. He helps him with the firefighting thing. I'm pretty sure he was flirting with this chick. And I was like, hold up. Where's Lois? Because he briefly mentions her, but then says, no, just contact Clark Kent. And I'm like, okay, that's odd. So when we got to close to the last page, he's at the Daily Planet and he's working on a story. He's got a picture of them. He smiles while he's looking at it, and then he gets a solemn look on his face while still looking at the picture, and I'm like, what's happening? Ooh, there's spicy stuff going on. So the very last, like, he goes home. He's got a son. He goes home. He's spending time with them at home, and next thing you know, something's going on. That's it. That's all that's in this book. And I'm like, hold up. I want to know what's going on. I don't get like that over Superman books. This one's different. And like I said, this is Brian Michael Bendis wrote this one. Several different, well, not several, but you got a couple of different artists in here doing different pages and stuff. This was a really, really good read. And Jeff has 2 copies of this #1 in stock. He also has, I think, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that go with this. But he doesn't have #6. And I think it's a 6-parter, possibly. I didn't look real close at it because I wanted to read it. But if one of y'all don't come pick up this Man of Steel miniseries in the next week or so, I'm going to buy it. And if I'm telling you I'm going to buy it, that says something. All of these are in his $1 back issue boxes, so they're $1 a piece. You can't beat that. Might want to check this out. If you even remotely like Superman, or you want to read Superman but not read Superman, then this is a really good book. Like, I was really shocked. There's some Green Lantern stuff going on too. I don't know much about Green Lantern, so I don't know who this dude is, but he's in this. He says his name, but it's one of those things, like, I'm just not big on Green Lantern. But yeah, something's going on. They've got this dude, like, exiled or something. I don't know the whole story behind that. His name, let me see if I can find it. Rogal Zar. He's like exiled or something, and he's trying to convince this council that the Kryptonians need to die. And he gets shut down. Basically, they tell him no, it's not happening, and he's told that the council decided, and he's left like this. Well, I mean, that's the makings of a supervillain right there. You tell somebody no, you can't do it, and they've got superpowers. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go do it. So I want to read the rest of Man of Steel. I think it was the first issue was really good. So I'm kind of excited. Like I said, if one of y'all don't come get those issues, I'll end up getting them. I'll give y'all a little bit of time to come get them, but if you don't get them, I am. But if I don't get them from Jeff, I am going to try and find them, or at least find a trade, because that was a really, really good read, and I was surprised at how good it was. Alright, well folks, that's it for this week. Jeff has these in stock, all except I think one of them, which is the last one. That was great. This started off hilariously funny and then took a super serious turn, but also good. Good read. Started off cringy because, God, Carol, but turned out to be really good. And if you watched my part 1, I loved this one. This is probably my favorite one this week. Backed up by, ooh, this is a hard choice. Okay, so favorite, because it was just really, really good. I'm having a tough choice choosing between these two as my second favorite for the week. I might have to go with this one because it surprised me. And I love being surprised. But it surprised me in a way that made me think. So, probably Star Hunters. But after that, you know, Man of Steel comes in real close behind it. And then Miss Marvel pulling up the ranks there. But only because that first part was so cringy. It's the only reason. But anyway, alright folks, that's it for this week. Tune in next week for a new comic box recap. And I think we have a theme for next week. I think Jeff and I have decided to do a week of first. Not necessarily first issues, but first. Tune in to see what that's about. Live long and prosper. Glory for the Empire. Kapla!